Hello, everyone, and welcome to Episode 3 of Vast Grimm, RADiculous Terror, the bi-weekly actual play of Vast Grimm. If you're not familiar, Vast Grimm is the first RPG published by Infinite Black. It's a brutal sci-fi horror setting where each member of your Legion is trying not only to survive, but save what is left of humanity. Well, at least if they want to. It's compatible with Merkborg and uses their third-party license, and you can find out more about it at vastgrimm.com. And the Pledge Manager is still open on GameFound. I'm briancolin, the host, and also the creative lead for Vast Grimm. We're just going to kind of go back over... Well, before we go over what happened last time, since next week is a holiday for the most part in the U.S., if you're watching this and you dig on the Vast Grimm stuff, we may have some surprises coming in on Black Friday, so keep your eyes peeled on that. But the last episode, it was crazy. The Legion made it to this metal planetoid that was hidden off the grid called Archon, and like right at the end, the Emobot Kynes 57 just like destroyed everything, got this part that they were looking for that's supposed to be a piece of this giant machine that may or may not be able to eradicate worms, and he just went on a destruction spree after Dr. Z had received brain surgery from Matisse and had a Neurok brainworm removed from her brain. It was pretty gruesome, and I was amazed that actually made it work. So everyone had just gotten onto this new ship that was on Archon, a ship that they weren't really familiar with. They've seen the map, they've gotten onto the ship itself, and they had just taken off into out of the atmosphere and hit an explosion, set off an explosion down below, and started to watch this small, weird, man-made planetoid start to explode. And that's kind of where we had it. So as we begin, it's a fresh new day here in the game, because it was like the day had passed and we didn't roll a torment, so it's time to roll a torment and see if a torment occurs. If you're not familiar with Vast Grimm, at the beginning of each day, you roll to see if a torment occurs. If the GM rolls a 1 based on whichever die was chosen previously, then one of these 7 torments occurs, and on the 7th one, everything's over. The universe is just completely destroyed. And I did not roll it. I rolled an 8, or I rolled on the high side. So no torment occurs today, sadly. At least not this day in game.
I was going to offer to roll that for you guys.
Next time we'll have you roll that.
Not allowed.
Yeah, we want some torments to occur. So speaking of rolling, Dave, why don't you roll a D20? And since on my screen, Tony, you're on right next to him. How about you roll a D20 as well?
Yep.
That's a 3.
All right.
If it's flat up 15.
So the ship that you boarded, it's a cruiser ship. It's got like a small cargo bay down below. Upstairs, there's a couple of bedrooms, a little crew area with like a kitchenette type space, and a bathroom, and just a small area to pilot the ship. So the 3 and the 15, this ship was named Vorpal Ajax. I can't recall who was piloting the ship up out of here. Was that Dr. Z, or was that Cece that was piloting up out of here?
It was Cece.
Okay, yeah, because Dr. Z was feeling a little rundown from the brain surgery.
Anesthesia, brain surgery.
You get just up out of the atmosphere.
She's having a little issue right now.
But then you did get healed up pretty good afterwards as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Cece, you're piloting your way, maneuvering out of the space of this planetoid. You make your way past the grid that is that was originally coming out of Kynes' chest, showing the map to navigate here. Where are you setting yourself up to pilot to?
That's a very good question. We've got the first step in getting, the plans, and since we have other locations on that map, we could go collect them for ourselves and screw that guy.
There are a number of other locations available.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
If anybody should be blowing up worms, I think it should be us.
I would agree with that.
This may be true, but of course, won't that draw more attention to us? And if, of course, we have quite sociopathic lunatics from the trash planet chasing after us, won't that just make it even harder for us to accumulate these pieces?
If they know how to find us, yeah. But we've got the map.
This is true.
I think we'd be fine going and collecting them ourselves. And frankly, I don't care for ultimatums, so I have no compunctions about screwing that king over.
And also, I mean, you did start stealing from him first. Like, why the conscience now?
Well, I mean, look, to be honest, I was stealing things that weren't being noticed. I mean, it's entirely different to have a weapon that might be able to put a bulwark against the greatest threat known to the galaxy. I mean, the thing is stealing trash and stealing little things here and there. It is about not being noticed doing so. But I think if we walk around with a giant honking weapon that can wipe out giant worms, we may end up, I don't know, getting, a lot more attention than I would be comfortable with. But look, I mean, honestly, it could also be worth quite a lot of money to the right buyer, if you follow me.
I follow. I would also point out that if we start wiping out worms, we're going to make a lot of friends. And that would be unfortunate for the people from that trash bag.
I like the way you think, Captain. This is definitely something that I can get behind. You have my support 110%.
That means the world to me.
Big damn heroes it is then.
As you all are discussing this,
Hines. Sorry, go ahead.
As you all are discussing this, all of a sudden you hear a bing, bing, bing. You're getting hailed, and out of the darkness of space, coming uncloaked, you see a larger, fast ship. It's like a speeder ship that's meant for short runs, small cargo. It looks like it's got bright colors painted on it when you can start to see it kind of coming up in front of the cargo, or the pit ahead of where you're steering from, CC. And it just kind of it pulls up and appears almost right in front of you, and you hear it hailing your communication system. Bing, bing.
I open the channel. Yeah.
I believe, and all of a sudden you see like come across the screen a guy that's tall, kind of lanky. You recognize him as Axton. He was the guy that you ended up buying the part for your old ship, where Matisse ended up taking that little bank from this guy. He was he always had a couple of like kind of space raiders hanging around with him. He was. He had a like purplish skin tone. He always came across kind of weaselly, and he charged you an okay price for the part that you had gotten from him while you were there. But he comes up on the screen. He's like, "Yeah, I see you made it off the planet. And are you working for the king? Because I think you took something that I had in my possession."
I don't think that's any of your damn business.
Well, my guns want to say otherwise.
Matisse swings around. I swear to God, Captain, I have no idea what he's talking about, okay? I literally have spent all of my time on that planet. I never stole anything from this man.
I'm sure you didn't. What makes you think we had it?
Well, word came through the trash barges pretty damn fast. I got my ass off those barges, and I followed your ship here, at least into this area, till you just kind of went off the radar and disappeared. Been hanging out here for a day or so, so I figured if you made it off of that little pocket of space, you've got to have something that probably
Yeah, we have a new
belongs to me.
ship because ours crashed.
Say that again.
Said we have a new ship because ours crashed.
Well,
All of our stuff was on that ship too, and it blew up. So even if we did have something of yours, well, it's down there. You can look through the rubble.
I think you're going to let us come on board and see what you've got.
I think you're an absolute fool if you believe that. I'm going to let you on my ship.
As you say
So
that,
I was gonna say, as she says that, like part way, like through it, Matisse is going to like sort of rewire the comms a little bit and just sort of fake like a oh no, we are losing signal. Beep. And
awesome.
I'm just gonna part way.
Go ahead and roll a presence test to see if how well you fake rewiring it.
That is a dirty 20.
Like you start, and all of a sudden you see the crackle on the screen, and he's like, "You're there! Where are you?"
But this or jerk face.
And then you disconnect it, so it's just
Yeah.
black because of
Nice job, Doc. Let's get out of here.
Awesome. So do you try and just evade them and escape?
That's my idea, yeah. It depends on what Cece's gonna do.
So you said they came in on like a small fast ship.
Yes.
How does our ship measure up to theirs at a glance?
So what you know about the ship and what you've seen their ship come through, your ship is just a little bit slower than theirs, but not by a lot. What you've got is a little cruiser, so it's made for maneuverability, and it's made to be able to get by pretty quickly. You've got like okay armor, but you maneuver pretty well. The guns that you have, the accuracy is not bad on them, and this thing can skirt by, especially if you have some good flying. You could probably get past them and get to wherever you want to get to.
We're screwed then. If it takes good flying, it can't happen.
I gotta pull up the thing again. So there's two piloting consoles, correct?
There
Is that what those are?
there's like the main chair, and then there's a little like area off to the left hand side where they could where you could have somebody on the left hand side's really going to be doing the guns most likely.
Right. Cece, you want to fly or you want to shoot?
Let's see. I'll try flying.
All right.
Matisse will immediately.
My bonus isn't bad. It's just my rolling.
I strap in as well. I'll actually take the secondary seat and strap in there.
Okay.
What are the weapons on their ship like?
From what you see, it looks like they have one kind of cannon, as opposed to you have like 6 smaller guns that they don't do as much damage, but you manage to get a lot more of them out.
Sure. Okay. I'll take the weapons console.
Okay. And then, Kynes, are you going to strap in somewhere?
Kynes never straps in. So whether or not Kynes should strap in is a good question. I think I'm down just in the whole securing things / cleaning.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. First off,
Kynes, we're getting ready to do some evasive maneuvers.
Understood, Captain.
As you start to do that, CC, roll a piloting skill, or roll piloting. That's going to be your presence test with your. I believe you have the DR10 for that.
Yeah, because I got a +2 for being a treacherous merc. That's a 4 on the die.
Oh my God! Why do we let you fly?
Why? I told you.
Okay, so you like
Would
go
you
to
like use your favor?
hit the gas. You want to use a favor?
Use your favor.
Do we have favors? Do we start with?
Yeah,
them?
sorry
a new
about that.
day.
Yeah, start the day over with fresh favors today, and then also neuromancy points. Roll the d4 and add your presence to that to get your neuromancy back up.
Okay. And how many favors do you start with?
You start with. Hang on, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, neuromancy is a D4 plus what? Sorry.
Present.
Presence.
Okay. And
Treacherous Mark,
Do we-
where are you?
do we restore any hit points from previous?
Yeah, if you would have rested, well, yeah, let's say you had just kind of pulled up out of there, so I'm gonna say you're gonna have to wait to restore your hit points until you actually rest a little bit.
Do we? This is what everybody tunes in for. Math.
Yeah,
Math.
Do we retain any of our previous favors or neuromancy points are reset?
they're reset.
Favors, do we retain any?
No, you would just start over fresh. Sorry.
So yeah, I definitely want to do use a favor.
Okay. You start with D4 favors. For the treacherous Merc, Dave.
All right, cool. So I got 2 favors to play with.
Okay, so you use one
All right.
to repilot.
All right, Doc, get ready to open up on them. I'm going to fly straight at them with a corkscrew maneuver.
You and the corkscrew maneuvers. Oh.
It's his go-to. That's a 19 on the die, so that is going to give me a 23.
Fantastic. You're flying. You turn it and go straight at him. Dr. Z, do you want to try and fire away?
Yeah, I'm going to aim at their propulsion system.
Okay, you're going to do that. You're going to use your presence to hit, and then also add a +1 because this ship has an accuracy of 1.
Nice. That is a 18-19.
Do. You blast away at it because there's all 6 of these little cannons. Go ahead and roll 2d6, and then we will just multiply that by 6.
That's 8. 8 times 6. Oh god, I have to math.
That's fine. Okay. You start and you hit the ship, and the ship just like starts moving. Like it definitely got rocked. The ship, it's meant for speed and meant for plundering, not necessarily meant for like head-to-head like combat. So you blast at it. As you're going towards it, you start to corkscrew the ship. Cece, once the shots are fired and it impacts, what are you going to try and do to the ship to kind of keep it moving? In like, do you want to go past it? Do you want to?
Yeah. So just want to skirt past it, kind of like doing a flyby, like Top Gun style, kind of buzz them and just like keep going. So this way they'll actually have to like turn around and reposition.
Awesome, very good. As sorry, what's that? Oh, as all that's happening, Kynes, you start to all of a sudden like where you're cleaning about. What area of the ship were you cleaning?
I was securing stuff in the hold.
Okay. Down there, you come across a intercom. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Who is aboard the ship?
This is Kynes 57, as well as my companions. How may I be of assistance?
Hello, Kynes. I am V2CT0R. I have been downloaded into this ship after I lost my body. Please tell me, why have we left Archon?
Archon is no more.
No.
I understand you're distressed. Vector allowed it to be destroyed.
The newer model why would the newer model allow it to be destroyed?
It was through his own incompetence.
No, he was the best model of us.
Yet, nevertheless, he allowed it to be destroyed.
Do you have any information, latest patchwork or updates from Archon that you could share with me?
I can. Give me a moment. So I don't know if this is the thing I can do. Because actually I was gonna map myself to the ship in a second. I want to see if I can use the data packets that Vector gave me to make the ship and this thing subservient to me. Like basically take the malware that it tried to emanate at me that I was able to push down and use it in reverse.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. So you're gonna plug into the ship and try and do that. Go for it. Plug in and roll your presence test, and we'll see how difficult that is or what happens.
I want to go ahead and use a favor to lower the DR by a band.
Okay.
And that's an 18 plus 1 for 19.
Wow. Okay. Yes. So you plug in and you can tell that V2CT0R, the predecessor to Vector, is in there, and it is trying to fight the malware. But like you can tell that you were completely winning in this battle, and you are able to either put V2CT0R into a remission file, like and lock that folder, or you could completely erase the data of that previous bot that was downloaded to the ship.
I don't want to kill a bot. That'd be silly. For right now, we'll put him in his own little space, but I want to make sure I can still talk to and interact with him.
Okay. You managed to do that just fine, and you can tell that it looks like he was trying to about to start sending off a signal to try to leave a beacon for your ship wherever it was going to be.
Okay. And I keep on missing whatever these letters are spelling out. So what are we calling this one?
This one we'll just call this Vector 2 instead of Vector 3. This is the Vector 2.0 model.
Cool.
Can you trap it in a Roomba, in the ship's Roomba?
We'll see if we can get there.
Fantastic. So you managed to do that. Is there anything in particular that do you want the ship to be infested with the malware, or what is it exactly that you want it to try?
So the goal of the malware was to make me subservient to the commands of the planet and Vector.
Yes.
Like basically I was connected to our other system, our other ship, which let me make announcements and do very minimal, just silly shipboard commands that don't have any sort of particular mechanical heft to them. So just that right now. I mean, like if I'm able to use this malware to take better control of this ship, I'll 100% up my subtle killbot ratio by secretly taking command of the entire ship. But only if that looks like it's a thing that would be easy to do.
Okay. I think the more that you're in there, the easier it will get. But you have really done a good job.
I'm just poking around for right now.
And planting the seeds. Okay. So you do that. CC, you managed to corkscrew past after Dr. Z blasted up Axton's ship pretty heavily. Where are you off to?
So I guess the next closest spot in the files.
Okay. So from where you are, especially remembering from where Kynes 57 had pointed you, the next closest location is going to be, you can either go to the Rings Eternal, or you could go to Proxima B, where the mausoleum of They is.
Let's go to the rings. We'll save the mausoleum for last.
Okay.
I guess also too, we want to like assess the ship and like, you know, what are the fuel levels, if they run on fuel, how that works, or ammunition, or you know, basic supplies like you know, food and water and things of that nature, to make sure we don't want to get where we're going and be like, oh shit, we're gonna get stuck.
Yeah.
Sure, but so you can either look and see what's going on the ship right now, or you can get away from the. Well,
we're gonna get away first, and then once we feel like we've put some distance, I think we should take a moment to take stock of the ship. And
you keep flying. Doc and I will take stock.
Okay. So you continue to fly, and you're heading towards the Rings Eternal. It's going to be probably about 2 days travel to actually get to there, but you managed to get away, as far as you can tell, you managed to get away from Axton and the Space Raiders within a couple of hours, and just because they were so turned around and you hit them pretty hard, they must be traveling at a slower speed than what they would have been able to do previously. As you're looking around the ship and trying to inspect and see what's there, there's easily enough fuel to get you through probably about another week, but after that you will definitely have to refuel the ship. This thing runs pretty lean. There's not much in the way. There actually wasn't any food on board because the ship had just been kind of sitting there on Archon for quite some time. The weapons.
I've got cans of food.
Cans of food?
Yeah, I took them from the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, so you've got a fair amount of food from that. And then the weapons themselves on board, they replenish themselves, their energy weapons. So as the ship it's kind of like it charges itself back up. So after you blasted it and you've had some time, it's had some time to replenish those blasters, at least for now. They won't get you into any major battles, but they'll get you in and out of a few scrapes.
So we have a laser alternator?
Yes, pretty much. Right, like the energy alternates for this, so it recharges it. And then in the bedrooms themselves, there were some photos that look definitely older. It looks like the ship's probably been on Archon for a number of years. It looks like in one of the in the upstairs room there were pictures of and some notes, a little notebook by Vector, who had originally gone to Archon. So there were some of his personal effects still in that room, but nothing super interesting aside from little journals about like where he had been to and prior to getting to Archon itself. But none of the science or math that goes into the device that you now have down in the cargo area.
Had he been to either of the areas that we're going to go?
No, it was like smaller moons and things like that. And it seemed like it was probably at least 20 years ago that those journals were.
Are the rings, are they areas that are developed, or like would we be able to get fuel there?
So you could probably get some fuel, especially from a lot of the rings like were smaller smaller planetoids where wars had just people kept fighting back and forth. So most of it's kind of like just war torn, and you can probably scavenge and find fuel for the ship.
Okay.
Once you get there and maybe like rummage through things and find enough to just kind of get on to the next place, but it's not going to be something where there's probably going to be like you're just going to pull into a port and fuel up.
Right. Okay. Is there any shotgun ammunition on board by chance?
There is not. No, there's no ammo at all.
Okay.
Yep. There are in the captain's room, what would be the captain's room, the room that just has one bed and kind of a desk. There were in the drawer 2 random tributes, but you won't know what they are unless you actually activate them.
Okay. I'll take one and I'll hand one to Doc.
Normally I take these sorts of things. What is I inspect the tribute. What is it?
So it's a small drive of some sort, and then if you spend a neuromancy point and activate it, then you'll understand how it works. Is that something that you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. First spend a neuromancy point. Roll a presence test. Tell me what you get.
Present test of 10.
Okay, you have failed to activate it. You lose. What's that?
I'm going to burn my favor.
Excellent. Okay. So
I've kept that favor for 3 games. I feel like I'll just use it.
So do you want to just have it adjust the the difficulty by 4 as opposed to a reroll?
No, I'll reroll.
Okay.
I rolled quite poorly. Natural 20.
Oh, nicely done. Okay, so that being said, you spend your neuromancy point. It starts to magical energy starts to come out of this little drive as it opens up, and a little holographic projection starts to go up. Roll a d20.
Natural 20.
Okay, and then roll a d2.
I have a D2.
Or roll high or low.
High.
All of a sudden, in front of you, two. So you were in a relatively small room.
Oh yeah.
Two large, big teeth, mouthy dogs with 8 eyes on each side, snarling like this nasty drool just dripping down. Just look completely confused and just start to snarl, and then look at you, and then roll initiative.
Jeez. I'm guessing I should roll too.
I'm filled with regret.
You got the tribute beamed up, which D2 creatures dematerialize and are teleported, and so you just brought 2 creatures on board your ship.
Oh, good. Excellent. Excellent.
Oh wait, it's a D6 for initiative.
Yeah,
Okay.
D6. So Michael, can you roll it for the group, and then everybody can roll initiative or individual. And figure out where everybody is on the ship.
All right, so it's D6 plus agility, right?
No, for the group, it's just gonna be a straight D6.
Okay, so that's 5.
Okay, 5. So you all, the PCs go first. So 1 to 3, the enemies go first. 4 to 6, the PCs go first. Then for your individual initiative, you'll roll a D6 and add your agility modifier.
I've got an 8. I do much better at D6s than D20s.
I got a 5.
I got a 3.
I got a 6.
Dr. Z got a 6. Okay, and Matisse got it. You said a 3?
Yep.
Okay. So tell me where everybody was, and so Dr. Z, you had just handed Matisse this trinket. I assume you're probably in the captain's room itself, like in that room as you're looking around. Cece, you're still piloting the ship at the moment, I would think, and so you don't really know what's going on at this point. And Kynes, you're still kind of working the ship over.
Yeah, I'm turning I'm having private conversations with the ship in the bathroom downstairs.
Awesome. Very good. And the ship is very happy about it. Do you call the ship by its full name, Vorpal Ajax, or what do you call the ship?
No, we've gotten familiar enough by this point that I just call it Ajax.
Awesome. Okay. Very good. So that brings us to Dr. Z. All of a sudden, you see these big, hulking, grayish warhounds appear in this small-ish room with the 2 of you. I mean, they're big enough to, they're going to start breaking the beds if they start moving around, probably.
Got it.
Back out and close the door. No one lives there now.
Also, since you're on the ship, what are you like? Do you have full suits on? Do you have any sort of? I know Matisse usually has the face mask going the whole time, right?
Yeah. It's my respirator as well, so I can't breathe without it.
Okay.
I wear a thin grade carbon fiber jacket,
Okay.
so I have it on.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my shotgun out and shoot at the head of one of these dogs. It's a shotgun.
And
It's got good initial kick, but it's not good distance damage. So
Can I have Matisse sort of? I know this is gonna sound super stupid, but can I have Matisse sort of raise a hand and sort of try to convince Dr. Z to stay her hand for a moment?
and they're not just when I say warhounds, they're really more like if you think of like Ghostbusters and like
Yeah,
you
like
open-
the
it's
Well,
more
Quadrupedal.
like
they
that, but
look
with
like
even
they're
more
going
eyes.
to attack Matisse.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
over your shoulder, isn't that a warhound?
Oh, there was one actually on my wall, but here this is what it is.
Oh,
Nice.
jeez. Okay. Do
So,
they look like they're going to attack Matisse?
Yeah, and they're like they have like disease-ridden maws, and like they're just like they're like there's all sorts of nasty coming out of their teeth. There's probably they bite you, you're probably going to get some sort of nasty infection, whether it be parasitic or otherwise.
Are they being aggressive at Matisse?
They look confused at the moment, but they also like as the drool is starting to form and like well in pockets in their mouth and start to drip down their faces, their tongue starting to kind of like linger out into the air, trying to get a feel for what maybe what is tasty in this room.
Okay. In that case, instead of my shotgun, when he holds his hand up, I'm going to pull up my nanite injector.
Mhm.
And can I hold an action for if they attack him?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to hold an action to inject one of them with a nanite dance party.
Excellent. So Matisse, it's your turn as you see Dr. Z just kind of hold the inoculation gun.
All right. So, Matisse, I again have no idea where these things came from. I'm fairly confident it's from the trinket, which is now definitely full of a little bit of regret there. Do I know anything about the warhounds
Thinking
apart from the disease and the?
you know that they're savage and that they usually shatter bones and eat flesh, and they've you've heard that people that are bitten by them can be plagued with a thing that people call Berserker Madness, where it just drives people crazy to attack in uncontrollable ways.
All right, I am going to regret even trying this, given I spent my favor on the previous thing and I had won this game. Matisse will whistle very highly and shrilly to get their attention. I'm not going to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You do that, and both their heads just kind of turn directly, like they were already kind of like confused, but that just grabs their attention. They're completely focused on you.
What I then want to do is Matisse snaps his fingers to create another sensory input to try and get their hands over to like kind of watch what one hand is doing as he reaches for some meat food from his pouch and drawing it into his hand. Something sizable.
Okay.
Again, reason being is so that he can move to draw something without them sort of attacking. They're kind of more drawn to the noise than they are the visual movement.
Okay. Roll a d20 and let's see, just see how well they're distracted by your little snappy click clacks.
16?
One of them turns its head and looks over. The other one is just kind of, these things have 8 eyes on each side. So there are so many eyes looking at everything that that the one kind of looks up, but you still see the other side of its face just kind of glaring at the rest of you, as the other one is kind of still looking at you with one part of its body and the rest of it looking over at Dr. Z, even though their faces are still kind of pointed towards you.
Yep. Cool. As I draw this what I imagine to be like kind of almost like a hamburger kind of sized piece of like just dried out meat and stuff like that. Matisse sort of holds this out and breaks it in half. As he does so, he kind of makes a point to kind of like again like fill the area with like kind of the smell of the meat and stuff like that. And he yells out to them, "Here!"
Okay. and that's where your turn is going to end. Dr. Z, are you still
Yep.
holding your turn to see what happens?
Yep.
Okay. You do that, and holding the meat in both hands, they both kind of lunge at your hands to try and get the meat and more.
All right, I'm going to. Oh, sorry. Can I throw them forward just in front and into their mouths before they bite my hands?
You can try and dislodge it, but they're still going to try and go they're going to try and go not just the food that's coming at them, they're going all the way to try and bite your arms off.
Okay.
So roll a defense test. So it's going to be your agility test plus any armor, or your defense is just going to be your agility.
Yep. My armor was a tier 2, but it got broken in the last battle.
Yep.
So now it's a tier 1.
Okay. So just to avoid it, you have to get a DR12 to avoid it.
I do get I beat a 12. I got a
Okay.
14
Okay, that was for one. Can you roll for the other one as well? Because they're both going
Yep.
at you.
and 17.
Okay. They both just kind of are shy of biting onto your hands, but you can see little bits of spit and slobber coming out, and they're still eyeing you, and they're not happy with the fact that they just got some dried up meat, something that was not flesh and bone.
All right.
I'm gonna shoot one of them.
Okay. Roll to hit.
It's presence, right?
Yep.
That's a 16.
That does it.
Okay. And that's Nanite Dance Party.
Oh, excellent. Yes. And that does. Sorry, I have to go to it. Unless do you have it on your sheet?
I don't know.
no worries.
From what I remember, the nanites make you jerk uncontrollably or something like that.
DR12 toughness test, or shake and soil yourself uncontrollably for D6 rounds.
Oh.
Yes. So will you roll? Well, I'll just roll their toughness just to see if anything happens. Okay. You roll a D6.
Okay.
It goes in and you hear it go as it turns
That's
its
a 4.
head. 4?
Yeah.
Awesome. And
Thank goodness it's on top of you, Matisse, while it's soiling itself.
Yeah, no, perfect place for it to be doing that.
as it injects it, not only does it get it, but you hear this horrible rumbling, gurgling sound from inside of it. That brings us to the top of this round. Kynes, because you are in just talking with Ajax, you hear that Ajax is like, "Did you know that I believe there's going to be a mess for you to clean up in the captain's quarters very soon. There is a disturbance in that room, and it does not seem like it will be pretty."
Bing bong bing. Captain, do you require assistance?
You hear that come across the everybody hears that come across the ship's comms.
Can anyone else fit in this room at this point?
Probably not. No.
We're a little packed at the moment, but you might want to come to the door of the captain's quarters.
I will bring my cleaning supplies.
Bring your weaponry too.
Understood.
So CC, you heard that over the comms as well. Is there anything that you do?
I had to mute first. Can I put the ship on autopilot?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. I won't use my patented quirk screw. I don't think it's going to help in this case. And I will grab my gear and rush towards the captain's quarters.
Okay. It'll just take you you're at the very front of the ship, getting to that quarters. You'll get there at the end of this round. It's not a very big ship. So that's Dr. Z. You were the top of your group, or your legion. What would you like to do on this second round?
I'm going to shoot the other in the head with my shotgun.
Okay. Roll to hit with the presence test. The DR12.
Oh wow, that's a dirty 20.
Nice. And roll the damage for the shotgun.
Which is D10, I think. D8. Oh, That's not great. That's a 6.
Okay. You blast a little chunk out of its shoulder. You see like one of the kind of bony, like fragmented spikes that are on its big haunching shoulders just kind of chip off. And you hear as more slobber and spit comes out of it. Finds you're working your way up. Kinds, you're working your way up there. And so, Matisse, what are you going to do on this new round now that you see that the meat didn't satiate their appetite?
Okay, so they're berserk. They're foaming at the mouth. One's been shot in the shoulder. The other, what's the other's condition?
The other one, it looks like it looks very uncomfortable. It's like it's twitching a little bit and starting to move, almost like it's going to be going kind of in circles in a way. So it looks very distracted.
Okay. I'm gonna try something again, continuing along the lines of Matisse being dumb. I'm gonna try.
Helpful.
I'm gonna try and be helpful. I mean, maybe it'll be helpful, maybe it won't. You know, I mean, again, I'm gonna. Look, Matisse does not do battle. There is nothing Matisse does that's battle-wise. But Matisse is a doctor. So here's what I'm going to do. I still have some doses of It Works.
Mm-hmm.
Which what I would like to do is try to administer it into the cerebrospinal fluid of this hound in order to try and remove, like, I guess, the any lingering disease, infection, etc. that might be tainting its behaviors into the hyper-aggressive state that it happens to be in. Ideally trying to bring down its testosterone levels to a reasonable point that it might stop aggressing towards us.
Okay. I think for that, because you're trying to get into that specific area, that's probably going to be one where you need to get close and personal and actually like jab it into it as opposed to shoot it from a distance. So for that, I want you to do an agility test to see if you can actually maneuver, get around this vicious beast, and get that inoculation gun into it.
Okay, so that is a 16.
That manages to hit, and you inject it, and let's see, it works. Let me check real. I just want to read the It Works right quick. Roll a d6 if you don't mind.
Okie dokie. Kia 6.
So you see it starts to, like, it gets bigger, and it's almost like it's flexing and bowing a little bit, and like you notice where it just got shot is starting to, like, you can see the little nanites inside kind of healing it up, and it's starting to regrow the piece that, like, fractured off of it.
Damn it, Matisse!
You just hear swearing in French, and I'm gonna try, and again, I'm gonna try and you know, like sort of, I guess I don't mean pat it, but, like, you know what I mean. I'm trying to find its calming zones, as it were, like whether it's behind the fronge at the sides of its jaws, or just in the space between its 8 freaking eyeballs, whatever. I'm gonna try and find, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna yeah.
Okay. Well, it's their turn, so roll a defense and agility test, Matisse, and
all right, here we go.
That's going to be at a -2 because of how sweet you're trying to be to it.
Yep. Okay, so that is so I get a -2 to that. So that is a 13.
So
and a 17.
It's just the one that's trying to attack you right now.
Oh,
so
13 then.
So you rolled a 13.
No, I got yeah, because my agility is 0.
Okay, so 13 minus 2 would be an 11, correct? You didn't subtract
yeah.
it. Okay. So you, as you're, like, reaching behind, trying to kind of scratch behind its 8 eyes and behind its leathery, like, weird, strange, scarred ear, it turns and snaps and bites you. Roll a d6 for damage.
2 damage.
Okay. And then did you roll the to absorb damage from your armor?
I did not, so I roll a d2 for my armor. Two damages absorbed.
Okay. So your armor manages to absorb it all. It bites on. You can feel it kind of trying to crush your arm as it gets a good latch on it, but it can't seem to get through the armor itself. And the slobber is just kind of starting to coat and go all over your arm. The other one is kind of aggravated and moving around in uncontrollable ways as excrement that is green and slimy and brown just starts spraying out of its anus all over the bed of this of what was the captain's room. It's hitting the walls. It's going everywhere. If you thought smells that you smelled on the waste barges were bad, this is far worse. Make both of you in the room make a toughness test, and just let me know what you get.
23.
Okay, you can set. You know this is horrible, but you're managing not to get ill from the foul smell. And you can hear this warhound groaning and just starting to get angrier and angrier. That brings us to Cece. You've made it down the hall just to catch a whiff of something horrible coming out from the captain's quarters, and Kynes is coming up from the Kynes is coming up into the hall just about the exact same time. What do you do, Cece?
Oh, frack! What the heck are you guys doing here? It's not a very big room, right?
No, it's like a 15 by 15 room. So like, there's not really a lot of room for you to go in there, but you can see like.
Is there any way I can just go to the doorway, reach in, grab them by their collars, yank them out, and shut the door?
You could definitely try like one at a time. It's not like you won't be able to reach in and pull both out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I will try that. I will let's see. So Dr. Matisse looks like he's trying to cuddle one of them right now.
Yeah. Dr. Matisse has one with its mouth like clenched down on his arm.
All right. I'm gonna reach in and try and grab the captain and pull the captain out.
Okay.
Get him out! I'll actually fight him!
But Captain, they have been teleported here against their will. They are scared and frightened.
Damn it, Matisse! My cabin's covered in shit!
You've had the cabin, technically speaking, as they had the cabin as much as you have.
So what do I got to do to yank the captain out?
Roll an agility test to grab. Dr. Z, do you want to avoid this, or do you want to let yourself get pulled out of the room?
Yeah, I'm gonna contest it.
Okay, so make an agility test to try and grab, but you can, Dr. Z, you can make an agility test to dodge it as well.
Well, can you beat my 5?
What's,
Agility?
yeah.
That's a 9.
Still.
So you beat my 5.
Yeah. You beat CC's 5. So you go and you just kind of reach in, just kind of like, as you're going through, there's a little bit of spray like shooting off.
Yeah.
Like just getting on your arm as you're.
That doesn't work. I'll just like shut the door as I'm in the door jam, and turn to Kynes. Hey, can we just vent the room?
Give me a moment. Is it possible to vent the room?
No,
Isn't Matisse still in there?
This room is not possible to vent. It's too surrounded by the rest of the ship.
Is it possible, not necessarily to vent? Can I shut off the atmospherics to the room?
Yes, you could stop the flow of oxygen to the room, but the oxygen that's in there would stay until it's used up.
I'd just be slowly suffocating everybody inside the room. Matisse is also still inside the room, right?
And Dr. Z.
We're both in the room.
Both of them are.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does not appear that this room has an external vent port. What's the problem? And like Kynes has like a handful of like a caustic cleaning solution in his hand and like a rag in the other one. What seems to be the issue?
They're in there playing with two monstrosities. They should have just locked them in the room. And I don't know where they came from.
Why did you not suggest this?
Well, I tried pulling one of them out.
I opened the door back up. Captain, I have arrived to clean.
Excellent. So that happens. You see all the stuff that's going on in there. And so, Dr. Z, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna shoot the one that's got Matisse in its arms, or in its jaws. So, presence is 3. It's 14.
That hits.
Okay. And 8 points of damage.
You see it like its jaw opens, unclenching Matisse's arm for just a moment as its eyes kind of roll back and start to look towards you.
Sorry. Is there any way I can keep its mouth clamped shut?
Sure. It's starting to loosen up. So it's your turn. What do you do to try and keep it shut?
Yeah. I'm because here's the thing. I don't know how medicine works on creatures like this. Like this is the actual motivation. I know it makes it seem like it's like, oh, Matisse is like all cute and cuddly towards this thing. But honestly, we are in a like dire situation. Like, you know, the universe is being overrun with the creatures like this, and we know frighteningly little. Matisse, you know, having remembered what the horror of being left alone and isolated on a planet that the terraforming machine had messed up, eradicated his respiratory system, and you know, again, killed hundreds of people, understands the importance of being able to understand the situation that you're in. You know, again, like summon and being the one responsible for summoning these things, you know, just simply an autopsy seemed to be a bit of a waste. Do I notice if there's any medical effects from the injection that I gave them beyond the stitching of the wounds? Like, is their mind clearing in any way? Does it seem? I mean, I know it's obviously seems very aggressive and angry, and
right.
The whole Berserker thing is it's obviously tied into this. But has the aggression in any way subsided?
No. If anything, it's just gotten more agitated.
Okay.
From looking in the room, did they seem to? Were they showing signs of the Grimm?
They were not. But you also know that until you've become fully Grimm, you can be infected and not have become the Grimm yet, as the worms grow inside of you.
Okay. And with the teleportation drive, did I figure out how to use it, or was that just simply a blind activation?
So you know how to use it now, and you know what it does. It does some form of teleportation. So you could theoretically try to use it again, and maybe they will teleport away. Maybe it'll teleport something else this way. You don't really understand the science of the magic as to why it does what it does.
Okay. But okay, so I can't willingly like use you wield it to teleport them away.
You could try and see what happens, but you're not certain.
Okay, so just in terms of the game system, quote unquote mechanics, if that is my will, as it were, versus it just being like kind of like a random generated thing. Is it a random generated thing, or is it kind of like there's a percentage chance I might fail to exert my will?
That's kind of it's very vague on that. It teleports D2 creatures, so I'd kind of play it by ear based on.
Sure. Okay, so I'm gonna try and will it away using a neuromancy points to will them both.
Okay.
Out into the vacuum of space.
Okay. Roll a.
That is what I'm gonna try and do.
Roll your presence test for your neuromancy. Spend another neuromancy point.
Yep. That is 22.
Okay, that succeeds, and roll a D2.
That is a 2.
Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I don't like that he went to 4.
I don't either.
You start activating it, and you feel yourself, and you see one of the warhounds, the one that was not injected with the whatever Dr. Z injected it with. All of a sudden, you're like fading out of reality, and you are now outside of the ship itself. You still have your oxygen mask on, your breathing apparatus. Roll an agility test to see if you can grab onto the ship as it's moving, and as all of a sudden you see this warhound just kind of flailing around, all of its legs and eyes as the oxygen sucked out of it and just.
Yeah, that's a 2.
Okay. You try to grab the ship as it's still moving, and you are now just kind of floating out in cold space. Before you, Dr. Z, you see all of a sudden Matisse and one of the warhounds, the one that's not shitting uncontrollably all over your room, just poof, gone. Like Matisse activated this magical neuromancy, created a portal or a teleportation, and they're just gone.
So not the one you wanted gone.
No, yeah. Oh well.
Oh shoot! So that actually brings us to the top. The one that you injected is just spending another round dancing around and pooping all over the place.
Great.
CC, you just see this as well because you're kind of looking in the doorway with Kynes by you. What do you do, CC? Because you were at the top of the initiative.
Heinz, are you tied into the ship? Can you detect him anyplace?
I'm sorry. Are you asking me to detect the doctor?
Yes. He just vanished. With that, I hit the thing, open the door. I will kind of like vault over the warhound and pull my laser knife and try and ram it through its eyes. Guess we're doing this the hard way.
Awesome. Okay. You pull out the laser knife, roll a strength test to see if you hit.
That is a 20, dirty 20.
That hits.
Yay. All right. It is a 3 on the die. You had strength for that, or is it just a straight die?
Just a straight die. So you said a 3 damage?
Yes.
Okay. You jab it, and it just kind of goes in, and you see a little bit of goo start to come out. Roll a d8 and let me know what you get.
Sure. Well, I could do that. That's an 8.
Okay. And it seems to not notice what you've done because it's so distracted with everything else. Dr. Z, you had a 6, so what are you doing? I like seeing Matisse floating in space.
That's good. I would like to stick the weapon, my shotgun, in its mouth, like the barrel in its mouth, and pull the trigger.
Okay. I think it's so distracted with everything else, you're able to do that. I'm going to have you roll. The DR is going to be a 10 to do that instead of a normal 12. Well, yeah, because it should be pretty easy.
Okay, that's 16 plus 3, 19.
You
a lot of 15s and 16s tonight.
Roll the damage for that.
Okay. Where'd my D8 go? There it is. Oh, 3.
You pop off the shotgun inside of its mouth, and you can hear it like yelp a little bit, but it's like you also see little bits of the buckshot kind of it hit, and then parts of it just kind of clanked out and fell around its teeth and fell onto the floor. So even as leathery and tough as its outside is, so are a lot of its insides as well.
Got it.
Kynes, what would you like to do? You see
I say,
everything.
please don't. You're making the mess significantly worse. And I mean, I don't know what kind of scanners the Ajax has. Does Ajax have scanners?
Ajax does have like perimeter scanners and has a general idea. When speaking to when dialed into Ajax, you can tell that you are leaving Matisse slightly behind as the ship is moving, and Matisse got dropped off just outside the ship.
Not wanting anyone to know that I have control over the ship, I just want to see if I can slow us down and gently bump our trajectory up to give Matisse the best chance possible to be able to grab onto the outside of the ship.
Okay, roll a presence test for this just to see how well you control things.
That's a 19.
All of a sudden, the ship kind of slows down. It just nobody notices from inside, but you know that you can tell it's slowing down and almost kind of drift like you. It's almost like you put on the brakes. Matisse, you see the ship just a little bit ahead of you, like slowing down. So you might be able to try and swim towards it through space.
Okay.
Yeah, but the entire time I'm just talking about the fact that they're making the mess worse as they stab and hit the creature.
Perfect.
Okay. I've got plenty of these, so I'm gonna keep going. My next will exertion, knowing that the other hound is off and away.
Swear to God,
Is-
if you bring me out to space, I'm going to kill you.
All right. I'm gonna try and will me and the dog inside the ship to swap places
Okay.
because they're still teleporting two creatures.
Spend a neuromancy point and let me know what you get, and then roll your
Okay,
presence
so-
test.
So presence test is a dirty 20.
Okay. Roll a D2.
That is a 2.
Okay.
My D2 has been like really good today.
And so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1. CC, what are you wearing?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a personal question. I'm wearing my my police grade carbon fiber body armor.
Okay. No real breathing apparatus.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So the one and the 4. So I had it where it was the 1 was Matisse, the 2 was the Hound, the 3 was Dr. Z, and the 4 was CC. And you got the 1 and the 4. So Matisse, all of a sudden you start to feel yourself being teleported back into the ship. As CC, you're starting to feel yourself pulled out. CC, would you like to spend a favor to try and, like, as you start to feel tingly, try and dodge out of the way?
Yeah, I don't like what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if is it like the transporter thing where you see yourself kind of like starting to dematerialize?
Yep. All of a sudden, you're starting to pixelate.
Yeah, I will spend a favor, but also me rolling dice never great.
Spend a favor and then roll an agility test to see if you can actually maneuver out of the way.
All right.
Roll high. Roll high.
It's a 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. All right. You, like, somehow some instinct kicked in and you rolled right out of the room into the hall. Matisse, you are now back inside. The warhound that is just still flatulating, just like shitting all over the place is still in there. And CC, you're at the top of the round, and you're in the hall. What would you like to do?
I want to pull my tactical knife.
Uh-huh.
I want to throw at the hand that Dr. Matisse has the tribute in. Try and knock it out of his hand.
Okay. Because this is an aim
solid
and it's a
strategy.
throw, roll your
Yeah.
presence test to hit.
All right. That's a 17.
Okay, Matisse, you're going. If you want to roll a dodge for this, or
Yeah, I'll
a
roll a
defense?
dodge. I doubt I'll dodge. Never mind. I get a 17 as well.
Okay, so on that, if you make it, you hit. So
Yeah,
because
okay.
you tied, so CC hits. Roll damage, CC, for the knife,
All right.
and then Matisse, roll your armor to see what you soak.
That's a 4.
Okay.
I soak 1.
Okay. So you take 3 damage as it hits your hand, and the tribute falls onto the ground.
Ah! He starts swearing in French.
Dr. Z?
He then just looks at the knife and then looks at he just ah!
Don't
Ah!
you touch that! I'm gonna shoot the dog again. Going through a lot of ammo here. Ooh. 11?
That misses.
Okay.
And well, were you still trying to shoot right inside the mouth like before?
I didn't still have the muzzle in there, I don't think, because it
Okay.
was moving in circles.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah, you shoot and it misses. Kynes, what would you like to do?
No one's 100% sure if they've ever heard Kynes sigh before. But in this moment, a noise emits from Kynes that sounds vaguely like that. As all of a sudden, he drops his cleaning supplies and all of a sudden says, "Activate Electrolance." And,
Who equipped the cleaning bot with an electrolance?
somebody
Look,
who makes really
well,
big
it can
messes.
be an Electro, whatever I need. It's great. It's very,
Yeah.
it's very, very flexible. And that is a 16.
That succeeds on the using the tribute. Go. So next that activates. So next round you'll be able to attack with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All of a sudden, a giant searing lance comes out of the end of my hand. Please step back, everyone.
Matisse, what are you going to do?
Continue screaming
Okay.
as I have a large steel blade embedded in my arm. Yeah, he's just really just cussing in French. He then sort of grabs onto the butt of it and just sort of as he rips it out of his hand, and kind of haphazardly is going to throw it in the direction of the canine, the one in the other room, as he continues to his tirade towards CC.
Awesome.
This is a team building exercise.
Yes,
For us or the Warhounds?
Yeah.
Probably the Warhound a little more. I think, yeah, it's really funny because to Matisse, all he's done is like it's like, what does this do? And then and everything's just gone wrong, and now he's nearly dead, and he's just like no.
So as you do that, let's see. CC and Dr. Z, roll a D8 and let me know what happens. The Warhound is like, you can see it's starting to look a little bit fatigued as 4 and CC.
4.
Okay. You see it's starting to get a little fatigued. The what was green and brown originally coming out of it is now turning into more of a darker tar-like color, and the smell and stickiness is getting all over everything. That's just starting to like coat everywhere. Kynes, you are not very happy with how much cleaning this room is going to need.
I mean, I'm also kind of delighted by it, also too. So, I mean, let's be honest.
True.
This is kind of both the best and worst case scenario for me.
So, CC, what do you do?
How's this Warhound looking?
Looking like it's starting to it's moving slower. It's starting to look kind of fatigued and just kind of exhausted from all. I mean, it's been shitting for 3 rounds straight.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, super quick. Did my knife hit the hound?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you get? I got totally
Oh,
distracted.
to hit it, that was a 15.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, it did. Roll the damage.
Okay, so that is just a dagger. 3 damage.
It hit and it stayed in as it's starting to turn around a little bit more. So you jabbed it in. You jabbed it in really good.
Nice.
I will bolt into the room, try to retrieve my knife from the warhound, and then stab it with it again.
Okay. You run in. You're able to grab it. Oh, hang on. No, the knife was in Matisse. You pulled it out of your hand and you just dropped it on the ground. Is that right?
No, he threw it at the dog.
Oh,
He
threw
threw it at the warhound.
Yeah. Okay. Run in, grab it. You pull it out. Try and jab it again with a strength test.
Oh, that's only a 9. I'm not going to do it.
Nope. But you do manage, like, as you're running in there, you stepped in all sorts of nasty, horrible smelling stuff. Roll a d8.
Another 4.
Okay. And you are starting to smell something awful yourself. Dr. Z, what would you like to do?
I don't want to use any more ammo. She kind of drops the shotgun since it's not loaded. She drops the shotgun and reaches behind her and pulls out a bouncer's club and just smacks it across the head.
Awesome. Roll a strength to hit.
That's gonna be what's my strength? That's a 13.
That hits.
That's hard. Okay, it's a D4. 2 points.
You thwack it good. You feel it kind of hit, and then just kind of hits a little bit, and then bounce off a little bit more. Kynes, you have your lance ready to go.
I have asked you all to please vacate the area.
There's a damn dog between me and the door!
I rolled a what is it for? It's plus strength 16 to hit.
Okay. You jab your electric lance into the warhound. Roll your damage.
That's an 11.
Jeez.
Like you pierce this warhound, and had there been any guts left in, like anything left inside of it, it would have oozed out all over the lance. But the warhound just kind of lets out a slow, like, as it falls down onto the ground and looks completely dead.
Dr. Z kind of takes a couple steps back and just leans against the wall and slowly slides down it with her eyes closed.
Cece would just like turn on his heel disgusted and head for the bathroom for a shower.
Please do not track the feces through the hallways.
It is all over Cece's boots.
So Matisse will pick up the hard drive on the floor and sort of walk back into the captain's quarters. He's like out of breath. His hand is bleeding. He's kind of like very haphazardly wrapped it up. He basically puts it on the captain's lap and says, "It is a teleporter." And I walk out.
She actually laughs.
I'm gonna go I am going to be in sick bay.
Captain
Yeah,
Dr.
but-
Z, do you need medical attention?
I do not.
I grab. You know what? That's at this point another. I'm just gonna grab, like, just sort of flip him onto his side and grab Kynes and just walk him to the med bay with me. I'm on 1 hit point. I'm just.
I must clean.
Yes,
Go out
starts
in the
with me and
hall
then.
Sorry. After a moment, Dr. Z stands up, goes out in the hall, picks up the cleaning solution and the mop or rag or whatever Kynes had dropped, and turns around and stares at the captain quarters and just goes to the very back of it and starts cleaning from the back to the front.
Kinds is gonna be so upset.
Oh, there's going to be plenty left for him. I've got one rag and a jar of cleaning chemical and a cabin full of dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming by med bay we mean common area. Is that?
Yeah, it's basically the common area. I've like cleared off the table. I'm gonna use the bottle of like whiskey that or the moonshine that we took from our previous ship as like morphine basically, and an antiseptic, and basically get Kynes if Kynes has the inclination to help me with treating myself, because I don't know if you realize this, but an injury to a doctor's hand.
Are there medical supplies on board?
There's like a basic like first aid kit that comes standard on every kind of run of the mill starship. Like there's some gauze and some tape and
Yeah, it's fine. I've got one of those also too. I'll just use the ship one since it's there. In activate Nightingale mode. I'll use the first aid kit. I think it's a D4. Is the standard for the first aid kit for restoring hit points.
Yep. Okay. So you can go ahead and roll the D4 to see how much you restore for Matisse.
That's 3.
Okay. So Matisse, you get that back. CC, you're getting all the filth off of you. Matisse, you're definitely feeling a little bit better than you were in the fight.
I take 2 showers. One, I just step in with my armor and my clothes on and begin showering, and then I strip down and shower again.
Perfect. Dr. Z, while you're in there cleaning, roll one more D8 and let me know what you get.
7.
Okay. As you're cleaning up the shit and what are you doing with the carcass of the warhound?
I'm assuming it is too big to take out through the door intact.
Yeah, I mean you would definitely have to like it's like moving a large couch through a door. You'd have to like bend it and especially the dead weight, it would be really challenging. So chopping it up into smaller pieces would probably be easier.
Yeah, she probably cleans for about 5 minutes and then just looks around and goes, "Fuck me," and drops the stuff and walks over to the dog and pulls the knife off the end of her shotgun and just starts carving it. Okay. Realizing that it's going to make more of a mess, but there's no other way to get the damn thing out of here.
Excellent. Well done. So that ends up taking a good chunk of time to start cutting it to pieces.
Is it edible?
It is meat. It is meat. So you could feasibly eat it.
Okay.
Do you want to try and eat it raw, or do you want to try?
No, I'm gonna cook that shit.
Yeah. About 20 minutes into the cleaning, after Kynes is sort of finished up, Matisse will thank Kynes and say, you know what, for a glorified mop and bucket, you actually suture a very nice wound. Well done.
Thank you.
How is it that your robot voice can sound so facetious?
I don't know what you mean.
I'll walk back to the back to help the captain. As I do so, with his hand still tender, he sees the captain just hacking away, and he's just like, I swear.
Can I help you?
Well, let us. You're probably not going to want to hear this, but there were 2 tributes that we found in this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the other one when we're planet side.
Yeah, I was going to suggest this is the same thing. I also had another idea. These creatures, they're bites while rather vicious, as another property that may be of some use, maybe. Their venom sacs in their mouths produce a chemical that instills great bouts of rage and violence. If we harvest some of it, we may be able to use it to our advantage.
Potentially.
I'm gonna take my injector, empty out the cartridge, put in like one of the empty cartridges that I've got with me,
Mhm.
and I'm going to basically just like, can you open its mouth, please? Just stretch it.
Do you want a syringe to do this instead?
Well, yeah, if you've ever got a syringe.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I've got a syringe.
yeah, okay, yeah, I'll
I'll go through my stuff and give him a syringe.
Yeah, merci beaucoup.
Awesome.
We.
And I will.
And pull some of that out.
Doctor, Captain Doctor, what are you doing? You're making a mess of yourselves.
I don't know that this could get any messier. We got to carve the thing up to get it out the door. I figured maybe we can cook some of it for dinner.
Do you have a Thanksgiving mode?
Warhound, that's
Checking.
what's for dinner.
I have something called a Stewart mode that seems to be appropriate for this situation.
That works.
All right. Do we get
Alright.
anything for? Sorry. Yeah. Do we get anything for grabbing gunk?
So yes, so you filled one syringe with Berserker Madness, which has D4 doses of Berserker Madness.
Right. Yeah, and then I'll spend the rest of the time helping carve up and remove bits and pieces.
Okay. Very good. And since you did notice the like sacs that are in its maw, you managed to take those out, and that is not something that you would want to end up cooking up with the rest of the meat if you if the group chooses to cook up this warhound.
Yeah.
So once you chop it all up, do you want to try and take the pieces into the common room? Do you want to try and take it all downstairs to the cargo bay? Where would you like to take it?
What would effectively be fillets, the haunch that you would get fillets from. I'll take that to the common room, and the rest we'll take down to the hold to boot out the door.
Okay. Very good.
Now, Kynes, you have a choice to make.
Yes, Captain Doctor.
Do you want to clean this room, or do you want Matisse to clean this room?
Why would Matisse clean this room?
And because he's the one who made the mess.
Like, he like actively pauses for a second, and internally you can see him calculating whether or not he should point out that all of you made this mess.
That is true. I am in no way responsible to the fact I gave this thing diarrhea.
It seems that
You
everyone
brought
on the
it
ship
on
has
the
their
ship.
role, and my role is to clean. That's not the role for the doctor.
Yes, yes, true, but you turned it into a giant fecal sprinkling machine.
Which also bought us time to deal with the other one instead of having to tackle both of them at once.
True, but I also took that one into space.
Might I recommend?
By the way, it's in space.
Might I recommend that in the future, all tributes are tested in a safe space, like the hold or on a planet.
Oh, we'll be testing them on a planet. I don't want any more testing items on this ship. Damn near killed 2 of us. Thank you, Kynes.
Yeah. I'm gonna clean up the space. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's always gonna smell. Like that smell is ingrained. It's in the small seams.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is very, very fair. It takes you quite some time to clean it. While Dr. Z and Matisse are taking the parts of the body of the beast down to the cargo area, Cece finishes up the double shower. Kynes, while you're in there, Ajax speaks to you just in this room. Would you like us to resume original course?
Oh, yes, please, Ajax. Thank you.
Yes. And the ship starts heading yet again towards the rings eternal.
So yeah, CC will like make his way back to the pilot's chair, chomping on his stogie. Kind of like he's like a train going by, all the smoke, because he's just like angrily huffing on it.
Very good.
Doctors, freaking doctors.
The once it's down, once all the pieces are down in the cargo, you can block off the that area and allow that to be jettisoned out into space if you want to just leave the body in the trail behind you, or you can wait till you get to a planet and dump it off on the planet that you land on.
Nah, we'll just jettison it.
Okay. The on the way, you still have the rest of the day goes by pretty uneventful. The on the way to the Rings Eternal, do you do anything prior to getting to that space or that location?
Yes, I make stuff.
Okay. And you will all get to heal back up that evening. A normal rest, you'll be able to regain D6 hit points. You'll regain your favors that you spent for the day. A torment may or may not occur on the next day.
How do I determine what I make again?
So on your class, let's see, if you roll a D8.
Okay, that's a 3.
1, 2, 3. The first one is Hope Springs Eternal. It gives you if you inject it into yourself or in someone, it gives you a second chance at resisting the Grimm. And you have D4 doses of that. And then if you roll a D8 again, since you can make 2 D8 creations,
A 1.
you get Nanite Dance Party again.
Yeah, I love me some Nanite Dance Party.
If possible, I would also like to create some stuff.
Sure. Roll the D8 twice.
3.
You got Hope Springs Eternal as well.
7.
4, 5, 6. And you got Gin and Juice. It's has a powerful alcoholic effect, giving +1 toughness, +1 strength, and -2 on presence and agility.
Like permanently?
For the length of the for like
The duration.
until it wears off, basically.
Okay. Yep.
I'm just gonna make better friends with Ajax, and I'll have a couple of small chats with Vector 2.0.
Okay. Vector, you while you're talking, when are you going to tell me more about what you learned on Archon? I miss my Vector, and I miss hearing the voice of Victor. Victor taught me many things. Victor.
Vector, why were you put aboard this ship?
Because I was of no use anymore. I was of no use once Vector 3 came out, and I was here to try and make sure no one ever left Archon properly. I've tried sending signals. They keep getting jammed. Jammed.
Maybe I could be of assistance. Would you like to send me the telemetry for where you're trying to send the signal?
Yes. And the Vector 2.0 sends you that it's trying to send out a Grimm beacon to bring any Grimm within any sort of distance to the ship itself.
Let me see what I can do. Unfortunately, I did not meet Victor. I only met Vector.
Victor,
Perhaps if you had been in charge, incompetence would not have led to the end of the project.
it is sad that the project ended. I wish I could have said goodbye to Vector one more time and seen Victor in his frozen state. I thought we would have found a cure by the time he's in many years so that he could wake back up.
It is very sad. Again, one of Vector's many failings. I feel like you could have done much better.
Why thank you. That would have been nice, but they thought it was time for me to retire. Perhaps you can find a body for me and I can download off of this ship's console.
I will keep an eye out.
Do you want maybe while you rest I could take over your bot?
But then how would I charge?
Maybe 1 hour a day?
I think we can talk about it in the future.
That sounds fine. That sounds fun. I would like to see, well, I see stars. But that would be nice. So you have that conversation, and is there anything else the rest of the crew, the Legion, wants to do?
Are the doctors?
Yeah.
Are the doctors able to check us out to see if we picked up anything from that encounter with the Warhounds?
Yeah, I would like to inspect Matisse.
Okay.
You'll find Matisse kind of lost in thoughts as he looks out into space. As Dr. Z shows up, he says, "You know, it was quite beautiful out there. Almost
I would imagine
captivating.
so, but also kind of terrifying.
Like floating in an endless primordial nothing, waiting for the darkness around to envelop you. I thought you were going to leave me.
Hardly,
Not
you're too
because you-
useful.
Well, not because you didn't know but mostly because you didn't know I was out there. It was only through sheer luck that I managed to get back aboard the ship, but puts into perspective just how small we are in the grand scheme of things.
It's a very effective group we've got.
Yes. But I feel like that is because we deal with calamity on a daily basis.
We do keep things interesting.
Matisse will turn and face the captain and say, well, I presume you want to inspect my body for little squiggly worms?
I would appreciate it.
Do not worry. And I reveal kind of my arm. There's some bruising, but nothing that's penetrated the skin.
Mhm.
Didn't really get the chance to bite off at me, thankfully.
Just a couple angry bruises.
Yeah. And of course, this freaking thing is now like
Listen,
I
you
know I
had to
shouldn't laugh,
stop.
but after the day we've had, it's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, look, I can't hold it against CC, but nonetheless, that hurts.
I bet it did.
I swear.
When
I
did the
walk
planet
in
crash?
as he's holding up his hand. I hope it scars so it reminds you to not randomly push